This guy had a question and he said, I've been dating this woman for about 5 weeks, 6 dates. I don't overtext or call her in any simpy way. Every date has had strong chemistry. Kissed on date 2, hooked up, everything except for sex the last 3 dates. She said she wanted to, but I said I don't want to push it on her, so I'm playing the slow game. We'll get back to that in a minute because I got a lot to say about that. Anyway, he says, last week in the midst of a convo about modern dating and how many games are involved, I said I prefer being straightforward and honest, and then said, quote, I like you because you're a cool person. She said thank you and whatnot, and the convo switched casually to something else. Thought nothing of it. For those of you that watch my show, you know where this is going next, right? Like he said the thing about I like you because you're a cool person. He said he put his feelings out there because he doesn't want to play games. You know where this is going, right? Like, I'll just give you a minute. Where could this possibly go next in the story? Let's find out. Now it's been a week and she has dry text, taking a whole day to respond, if at all. Don't know if it's some kind of pullback test thing or if I just messed up because I let those words slip out of my mouth. Like, I don't get it. I didn't say, please be my girlfriend, you're the one. I just said what felt natural given the convo. I don't want to assume nothing, but it just feels like I've kept it smooth and done everything right, yet the result is still this weird energy. It's making me less attracted to her because she said she isn't into the whole dating games thing, but here she is doing it. Oh, my friend, you fell for the trap. You fell for listening to words women were saying and believing that they meant the things they were saying. Oh, we've all been there. I've been there. I get it. So, but let's go back. Let's go backtrack a bit, okay? So to start off with, the whole, he kissed on 2 dates, hooked up and everything except for sex. And then it's very important, right? He says, she said she wanted to, but I said, I don't want to push it on you. Now, this is an example of guys being superheroes in their head in a situation that doesn't require them to be a superhero and doesn't need saving. Because here's the problem, right? I've talked about patterns on the show quite a few times now. As a nice guy, you're in the pattern oftentimes of trying to prove that you're not like every other guy out there. And so what that means is you develop some patterns of rejecting things that would indicate that you're now turning into the kind of guy you're trying not to be. And a big one of those involves sex. And I used to be the same way. I'd have girls that would legitimately come over to my place and be like, looking a certain way, smelling a certain way, touching on me a certain way. And I just thought, oh, no. I can't have sex with them yet because I don't want to be that guy. What if I have sex with them and then I don't like them anymore and I leave? Like, I don't want to hurt their feelings. So you know what? I'm going to say no to sex all the time. And so that's what this guy did, is that at the point where she said, hey, I actually want to do some stuff. What's his response in his head? I got to be a superhero. I can't be like those other guys. So I'm going to, for her own good, not have sex with her. And I get why guys do it, because realistically, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the guy. You guys have a hookup, and then you find out something on like date 3, and you want to get away from her now. But all of a sudden, if you do that, you're like the bad guy. Guys, I need you to get out of your head that these women need you to save them from things that they themselves are not requesting you to save them from. She said in the situation that she was actually down for the hookup. At that point, if you're wanting to hook up, it's different if like you're like, you as the guy want to wait until you're in a relationship to do some stuff. But if you're like, she wants to hook up and you're thinking, and you want to hook up, you trying to reject her for her own good is not a good idea, because that makes a woman feel like you're not hearing her. If she's saying, hey, let's hook up, you're like, no, I can't do it because I know what you truly need. You need me to not hook up with you right now. Does that make a woman feel heard and understood? Or does that make her feel like it's going to always be your way or the highway? And I know as a guy, I said before, you're going to take the lead on certain things, but this is a situation where you're trying to emphatically tell her, no, having sex right now is not good for you. And she knows in the moment if she wants it or not. So for you to come by and say that that's not a thing that you want right now, that's already bad vibes on her part, and you're already starting to lose her at that point, right? So then, of course, we get into the obvious part where he's like, and this is another thing guys do, right? So in trying to be a nice guy, right? He's trying to tell her, you know what? I'm not a guy that plays games. I like to tell it how it is. I don't want you to be ambivalent or have any questionings about how I feel about you or what's in the process. You know what? As proof of a guy that's not playing games, I'm going to tell you how I feel, because only a guy that's playing games would hide his feelings. And that's the lie that we tell ourselves, guys, to convince ourselves that it's perfectly okay to now tell her how we feel about things. And then we tell ourselves, and she's going to like it because I just gave this whole speech about how I'm not trying to play games. So when I tell her that I feel a certain way, she's going to be okay with it because she's going to realize that what I said was true. I'm not playing games because I'm telling her how I feel. And what have I told you time and time again? Women do not care how you feel. Women care how they feel. They care about where their feelings are about you during this dating process. So you verbalizing your feelings, one, they don't care. That would be like a woman telling you, well, I have a master's degree and I make $1 million a year. As a guy, we know your degree doesn't help me and you're not sharing the money with me. Why do I care? And yet women that are in their masculine frame will be trying to spit this out all the time and then wonder, but why don't guys like me? I make a lot of money. I have a whole lot of degrees. That's the same way that women feel when we try to tell them our feelings. It's like, but what do your feelings have to do with how I feel about you? And so this is why you don't go around spouting your feelings. The other reason you don't is because, and I've said it before, when you say things, right? The reason women talk in passive language is because women feel things 2 to 3 times more than expected when you say something to them directly. So as a guy, you're thinking, if I just say, I think you're a cool person, you're thinking she's going to take it that same way. Oh, he just thinks I'm a cool person. No. What she's taking it is as I have very, very high feelings for you. I'm already starting to fall in love with you, and I can see a long-term relationship. And if she's not there, you lose out, which is why you do not verbalize how you feel about a woman during the time that you're dating her. At the point that she comes to you and asks you, hey, so what are we? Can I be your girlfriend? Then you can say, you know what? I'd love to be your boyfriend because you know what? I think we got a great thing going on. And even then, even when you're complimenting her or trying to tell her that you care for her, the language you use should be dampened down. Why? Because as the guy, your best mode of operandi for showing feelings is through action, not through words. Women do words well, men do actions well, and that's how the other sex best takes in how we feel. So yes, you want a woman to tell you how she feels about you because as guys, we need that direct, literal verbiage. I need her to say, hey, I care for you, I love you, yada, 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 because if we don't see the action of it, we're like, what's going on? But women don't need to hear that from you. Women, there are so many women that complain about, my guy's overly emotional, he's always telling his feelings and blah, 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 because women don't really want that. Women ultimately want a guy that they can look at like The Rock, that he's stoic, that he has a good head on his shoulders, that he's emotionally stable. You verbalizing your feelings, I'm sorry, guys. I know you want to do it, but if you're going to do it, don't do it during the dating phase. Just I keep saying it, so I'm going to keep saying it time and time again. Do not tell your feelings to women during the dating phase. Show them how you feel through actions, through taking them on dates, through giving them good hookups. They will get the idea that you care about them. And at the point where they're like, but I need to hear blah, 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 they'll come to you and ask you, what are we? What's going on? Are we in a relationship? Are you seeing other people? And those answers that they get from that will let them know how much you care about them, all right? But yes, so you can't use this trick of, well, but I'm trying to be honest. I'm not trying to play games. It's not playing games just because you don't tell a woman verbally how you feel, because you're still doing actions that indicate that, all right? So hopefully this helps you out.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man.